Thank you, yes, and one of those key rivals is Moonlit Stage, who we're looking at first. This is for Ed Dunlop and David Egan. This horse was the winner of that race at Newcastle. The second place horse is here as well. This horse is going the right way, progressing now in nursery. He's got a 2 and a 1 in this kind of level, and has got a decent chance to keep up that momentum. He's followed in behind by his stable companion. This is number 9, Alishka, for Sean D. Bowen, who's looking for a double tonight. She's a daughter of Expert Eye. She hasn't really found her level in nurseries, unlike her stable companion. Horse number 6 is Winston's Folly. Now, this is quite an interesting sort for Andrew Balding and Jason Watson. First run in a nursery off 61. By Churchill, out of an Invincible Spirit mare, Merry Me, bred for this trip and is in the right hands, you'd imagine, to improve. And I think that he's the slight mystery horse in this field. We'll go to number 7 next. This is Corpus Juris. This is for Charlie Johnson, Joe Fanning. Blinkered on for the first time, hoping to aid him. He was a bit further behind Moonlit Stage and the second place horse Bebside last time at Newcastle, so I'll have to try and improve past them, which might be tricky. Number 1 is Kilpatrick Prince. This is for Alice Haynes and Kieran O'Neill. This horse began life over 6 furlongs and has stepped up in trip in each run. He ran okay over 1 mile recently, and that was a 5th out of 10. He is stepping right up again in trip to 10 furlongs. First run in nursery and the top rated of 66. And I think we've got the more going out quite quickly now. We haven't been able to see Bebside, who's the notable one, whether this horse can reverse the form with Moonlit Stage, with the rating, the weight now better off in Bebside's favour. That's of note. There's also a couple others, including Konnichiwa and Vlaine Verlaine, who is quite an interesting sort, I thought. So we'll pick them up as they head down to post and head back to the studio. Yeah, personally, you have to think at the weights now, it's definitely in the favour of Bebside, and who had to give weight away to Moonlit Stage last time out and comes out better now that you can see that Moonlit Stage is going to have to do it the harder way, but they went well clear of the rest of them, and a resumed battle here. And as Dave quite rightly pointed out, there's not that many 10 furlong nurseries around, and no surprise that this is well populated, but a lot of horses in here of note, and quite eye-catching the money that's coming in for Corpus Juris, who was actually in behind both Webside and Moonlit Stage last time out. He was a little bit keen and was hung a little bit as well, so just needs to be a little bit straighter for that run. He's had a couple of chances in this kind of company, and we'll just see if these blinkers might just aid him. Winston's Folly, as I mentioned, is the one that's bred to definitely appreciate this distance. The full brother, I should say, Winston's Tipple, was a winner and over a mile too, and there's definitely a good bits and pieces of stamina throughout that dam side. So I just think Winston's Folly, if you want to look against those two at the top of the betting, is the one here. Kilpatrick Prince has had the bit of support as well as another handicap debutant who, as I mentioned, the paddocks has steadily gone up in distance from race to race and is probably less exposed than some of the others. One of them would be Konichiwa, who's the son of the sprinter Hello Umazane, and has quite a nice pedigree on the dam side out of the Camlet mare Haywa, and you'd think going up in distance would help, but hasn't shown a huge amount in 6 runs, has come down a couple of pounds just to make him that little bit more competitive. And then I thought Verlaine ran well in a nursery for the first time at Yarmouth the last day, which was a second. He stayed on very strongly. That was over a mile, and the performance suggested he would step up and trip, but this looks like a slightly stronger race. I just thought that maybe he might just be overlooked at the prices slightly. You could just see that Kilpatrick Prince, he's just getting a little bit worked up before the stall handlers try and aid him in. That is the sight of Winston's Folly, who looks very much revved up for this now. So it looks like there just could be 1 or 2 left to go in. Konichiwa, the grey, will be one of them. So let's head up to commentary with Richard for this nursery handicap.
Thanks, Jess. Yes, the Konichiwa, last one forward. 10 furlongs for 2-year-olds. So quite a test for the youngest generation. All set for this Betfair Racing Podcast nursery handicap. 10 furlongs start at the top of the home run. A little bit of jostling early on. Corpus Juris was one that was squeezed out as Moonlit Stage just worked to hold the position. Coverbridge, Konichiwa, and up on the inside, Kilpatrick Prince are all prominent, and Winston's Folly from wider out. So Winston's Folly is going to sweep round and take the lead from Moonlit Stage in the black and maroon, Coverbridge on the running rail. Alishka is 3 wide on the outside of Konichiwa in the green and blue. Kilpatrick Prince comes next. Bebside white and green ahead of Verlaine, having steadied in the first time blinkers leaving the stalls. The silver colours of Corpus Juris brings up the rear. Winston's Folly turns into the back straight, final 7 furlongs with the lead of just over a length from Moonlit Stage, who's on the outside of Coverbridge. Then Kilpatrick Prince, Konichiwa, and 3 wide Akisha as they make their way into the back straight. Behind Alishka is Verlaine, now the mount of Neil Callan, who's on the outer of Bebside, as they just get a little bit of a breather in. Field just condenses slightly, and right at the back is Corpus Juris. So Winston's Folly, Jason Watson just trying to fill the tank here with Moonlit Stage in the maroon sleeves, David Egan in second. Wider out is Alishka in the white and black colours on the outer of Konichiwa and Coverbridge. Kilpatrick Prince has just drifted back to 6th with Verlaine. Bebside 1 from the tail, and Corpus Juris with 3.5 furlongs to go is at the back marker. Jason Watson continues to dictate on the strong travelling Winston's Folly. Moonlit Stage pushed along in second place as now the leader also comes under pressure for the first time. Konichiwa and Coverbridge travel comfortably just behind the leaders. Verlaine, Corpus Juris right from the back of the pack. Kilpatrick Prince is ridden. Bebside needs a bit of racing room. Moonlit Stage on the outside of Winston's Folly. Coverbridge waiting in the wings. Konichiwa, Verlaine, Corpus Juris down the outside. Bebside's now got some racing room. Moonlit Stage in the centre of the racecourse. Verlaine. Bebside continues to make ground towards the far side. inside. Corpus Juris weaving around. Verlaine on the outside of Moonlit Stage. Bebside trying to get on terms. Verlaine drifting to the left, but Neil Callan will get Verlaine home for Mark Usher. Into second place, Moonlit Stage, Bebside third, Corpus Juris, Konichiwa and Coverbridge.
Well, Step Up and Trip and goes one better than the first run in a nursery. Verlaine is a strong stayer here in this nursery and beats into second Moonlit Stage and Bebside, the horses that had gone neck and neck last time at Newcastle. The same positions, but they have one other horse ahead of them this time. And Corpus Juris a bit of an eye catcher after squeezed out and shuffled back right early on. But Verlaine returns 12-1 for Mark Usher and Neil Callan here. And this horse who was able to really find his rhythm late on. And you thought after watching that first run in a nursery last time that he was a horse that would just really appreciate that little extra distance, and this Son of Ifraj has definitely done just that. He's stayed on nicely all the way to the end here. Moonlit Stage has battled and he's been able to defy coming up in the weights and is a horse that continues on in good form, as does Bebside. And as I said, Corpus Juris, just watch where he's come from as he had to get switched right around the wide outside, and at one point he had every horse to go past, so he's done well with the first time blinkers on. There was not a huge amount else coming out of the pack. You can see just a little bit green. Whitson's Folly running around in the end. He had set the steady enough pace early doors, but just couldn't keep up the momentum, and maybe this was a bit of a stretch in the end at 10 furlongs for him. But as you can see, not for Verlaine, who's a horse that has done really well, switched to nurseries. They've learnt a lot about him, and I think this is exactly what nurseries are so good for.